What's going on, guys? Defender here, and welcome to my new series. I'm going to call this series Detailed Hearts. And in this series, what I plan to do is to go through each game and really just appreciate the detail that has been put into each game and maybe explain some stuff that we see along the way. So as you can see, I'm right at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1. And straight away, we're given this image of Snow White. So you can assume that this is kind of like inside Sora's heart. So the fact that this deep dive has, Snow White right here kind of says something. As you can see, she's eating the apple. The detail in it is incredible. We've got the 7 dwarves around her. There they are. And it looks like actually one of them is underneath the sword. Sleepy, maybe? Yeah. Maybe. Is underneath the sword. And then around it are different animals. But as you can see, right at the very bottom is the Evil Queen's old woman transformation. And this is actually the first time I'm seeing this. So I think that's pretty cool. There's a bunch of these little details in Kingdom Hearts that kind of go, without being seen because you're just focused on playing the game. But they're really worth looking at. Can't really get it too well in this picture, but the detail on this tower, the stained glass, is just really nice. So let's see, we have the flowers behind Snow White. That's pretty cool. So next, let's look at the podiums. Kingdom Hearts is known for its symbology, so it's pretty cool to see symbols that are used in very specific places and kind of nowhere else. And I don't think this symbol is used anywhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's used anywhere else in the series. So it's kind of got a swirl in the middle. Not really sure if there's any meaning to it, but yeah. Okay, so let's look at the weapons themselves. I think they've always been pretty cool. So here is the sword. Let's see what it's called first. A sword of terrible destruction. So, destruction is kind of like a negative word. Or like a dark word, so I wonder if that's kind of what its intent is here. As you can see, it has a little Mickey symbol right at the guard, and the handle has kind of blue around it, and just overall, it's just kind of like a basic sword, but pretty neat and simplistic overall. Some of the best things in Kingdom Hearts are the simpler ones, so this is definitely an example of that. Next, we'll look at the shield, which is what I usually pick when I do a regular critical run through, because I like having the defense boost, and I like the order that you get abilities as you level up. But as you can see, again, simple. It's got the Mickey Mouse symbol in the middle of it, red outline. The colors are really cool, and it's got those kind of like steel bolts in the 4 corners. So pretty cool. It's got a sharp edge at the bottom, and I don't know if you've ever picked it as your weapon, but if you pick it, you get to use it in the first little fights in this deep dive, and he uses the point at the bottom of the shield to hit. Oh, let's see what it says. A shield to repel all. That's pretty cool. Power of the Guardian. And then this is the power of the warrior, and this is the power of the mage. And throughout Kingdom Hearts, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2, you have this kind of ongoing theme of power. Usually it's power speed magic, but power defense magic, there's that too. Actually, forgot to see what it said. A staff of wonder and ruin. So that one's kind of like a dichotomy. So let's take a look at it. Really neat, really simplistic. I really wish this was a staff that Donald could use in the game. It's just really nice. The Mickey on the top is, 3D. It's not like a flat model. The green handle with the blue Mickey, it kind of makes it really stand out. So I am playing on beginner mode to do this details run through. So it's mostly just for speed abilities. Really nice glass shattering effect. Now here we have Cinderella with the brunette hair. Not really sure where that came from. I'll do some research maybe and see if I can find why that is, but here's Cinderella with brunette hair. Alright, so unfortunately I think we have to do this part with this press X to attack, because otherwise it sends me into a scene that I fight Heartless and then it takes me away from here. So to really appreciate it, we're just going to have to look at it with this. So cool silhouettes of the castle over the top three. Brunette Cinderella. Not really sure the significance of it. I'll do some research, but I don't think it has any. Little horse. Some people dancing. Maybe that's Cinderella and the prince dancing in a bunch of different ways. She's got the glass slippers. 3 of them across. And then we have the pumpkin. Oh, this is one of the mice that's turned into a horse. She's got that choker on. She is asleep. And she's in her beautiful blue dress. So yeah. Okay, so now we're at the third pillar, and we have this kind of, these outlines of princesses. From what I remember, they're supposed to represent Alice, Kyrie, and Jasmine. Though I'm not sure which one is which. I don't know if they're just supposed to be representations, because neither of them really look like Kyrie. I guess they're just supposed to be little silhouettes with, kind of, abstract silhouettes with meanings. This one has a sun. This one has a moon. This one almost has this kind of like wings around it. The detail in the stained glass is really, really neat, as you can see. Each little heart has this kind of golden crown on top of it. So yeah, now we can look at the door. I don't know if I'm going to be able to look at it when it's solid, but the top has a really cool stained glass part. Kind of ornate door itself with metal handles. So let's look at the treasure chest. Really basic, no keyhole or anything. And then here's the side. Again, this is just kind of appreciation for all the little fine details. So if there's parts that you don't like, I'm sorry, but I love looking at all the details put into this game. Here's just a normal box, very Disney-esque, with the stars that almost look like Paopu fruit. Okay, good. So let's take a look at the door. Now it's in full form. We have I didn't notice this before. It's got leaves at the top. That's pretty cool with the stained glass. Really cool, almost like marble handles. Maybe not metal with the screws. So I'm not sure if it's going to be different in when you're actually on Destiny Islands, but I don't think it will be. You know, you can see the little island over there with the bridge. Here's Waka. Selfie. And Titus. Those look like the clouds that are at the beginning of a lot of Kingdom Hearts games in like the first stories or the first openings. Okay, so let's try to look at this without going into the light, because that might trigger a part where I can't show y'all. So this is one of my favorites. This is Rapunzel. She's got the thorns all around her on here. She's asleep and holding a rose. Something you'll notice is that all three of these princesses are asleep. And I believe Belle will be too. She's got the three fairies around her. Not really sure what that is. Maybe that's Maleficent. Some kind of Maleficent. So what I'm reading online says that that's a silhouette that Maleficent makes when she's vanishing. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, when she's vanishing into the green fire. So that's pretty cool. Again, lots of detail. She's in her purple dress. But it almost seems to like change colors, which is really cool. This kind of ombre look. And again, the green vine thorns are just so cool. And the stained glass as well. See if I can get it. I wish there was a better first person view, but... Okay, and now we get to go up these awesome stairs. They're made of stained glass. I don't know, it looks like each one is different, maybe? One... No, okay, so every 4 is different. About. So yeah, just lots of detail. Here's a better image of the kind of side of the pillar. It's really cool that it just like goes down into darkness. It's almost creepy. I guess we didn't really talk about the sky in this Dive to the Heart. It's kind of circling around this center point right here. Really dark, ominous clouds. But it's almost like you're in a dome. A dome-shaped building, like that's long and cylindrical. So here is Belle. So just to talk about the significance of these 4 princesses of Heart. Basically, these are the 4 princesses that Maleficent already has. Because, as you know, in this game, as you proceed, all the 3 that were represented in the 3rd pillar, in the pink, are the ones that you pretty much deal with as far as the 7 princesses of Heart go. These other 4, well, specifically Snow White, Cinderella, and Aurora, are taken care of in Birth by Sleep. Basically, that's kind of the beginning of Maleficent trying to gather the Princesses of Heart to create her own artificial Kingdom Hearts, which we could get into many hours of talking about. But and then Belle obviously happened sometime between, you know, Birth by Sleep and now Sora coming down here to the deep dive. But these are the 4 she basically already has, and we know that because they're sleeping right now, and they're even depicted as sleeping. So it was really cool to see this in Kingdom Hearts 1. I mean, here's Beast, so it was kind of like a precursor that we would at least get to see Beast at some time within the series. You know, it was awesome that we got to see him at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 at Hollow Bastion. But as far as her little items, she's got a whole bunch of like silverware, the little footstool, bird, some colored leaves. Here's Beast's tail. Surrounding her are Chip, Lumiere, this kind of pretty symbol, Mrs. Potts, Cogsworth, and then of course the rose. And she is sleeping, of course. So yeah, this is another pretty one. I love Beast as kind of like a shadow behind her in all the different shades of brown. So yeah, so I'll play the rest of the level, see if there's anything else that's kind of detail worthy. So let's look at the detail of Darkseid. It might be kind of hard, but so he creates this huge swirling shadow. Oh, it's kind of dizzying. That the shadows come out of. Let's take care of these. So that's one of his moves. He shoots these projectiles from his from the opening in his belly. That's the heart. You know, really muscular frame, kind of wild hair that wraps around his face, yellow eyes. He does this kind of punch move. Can't forget about the wings. Let's take a look at the wings on his back. It's pretty cool. Alright guys, so I think that's going to be it for this first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the small details in Kingdom Hearts as much as I do. And I hope to see y'all for the next installment. Defender out.